Well, I know this isn't September 8th. Otherwise, I'd be wearing something else. But I don't want to show you that, yeah, I'm a man of different things. And one of them is to talk about Star Trek. It's 1:16 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It is the 24th of June, 2023. This is the Rosamond, California, the zombie. We were John C. Lieutenant. No, faded off, Lieutenant Commander. Just a regular schlub wearing the beige. That in the old series would be considered a red shirt. But it's a gold shirt. In the regular series, it would be considered command. The next generation, it's considered the red shirt. I'm in trouble. So let us talk about our favorite fandom, shall we? You can get facts and figures about what the shows are all about, but I'm talking about personal experience and what I have gone through as a fan in the Star Trek fandom and seen shows and stuff. Oh, yeah. It was born in the year 1966 on screen on September 8th. The same year, actually the same date, but decades later that I lost a big bro. It almost qualifies for the Diary of the Griever named John Weaver, which would be me. So, wearing this wearing a heated shirt on a heated day like this, when it's apparently cloudy outside. But it's a nice kind of cloudy because I see so many things in the sky. And it reminds me of so many things I'd seen in fandom. And sometimes there's a few things I don't like in fandom. One of the shows that we had seen for considered kiddie, and not considered true Star Trek, according to a few fans out there, that Star Trek Prodigy, when it came out, 1 or 2 years ago, was considered kiddie show, but they were trying to reach the audience, and during that time, they thought they were going to stretch it out until the second season. But the powers that be that rule Paramount and Paramount Plus had deemed it gone. First season only, and that's about it because everything else has been done for the 23rd, 24th season. After that, we don't know whether or not it's going to be brought back to life or not. Like sometimes some of the characters in Star Wars that keeps coming back to life and haunting people left and right. Or maybe Star Trek does that on some occasions if you're lucky enough. Maybe the Borg will be back to assimilate them. Who knows? But there had been the comments that this is considered kiddie, and they're correct. Nickelodeon is considered a kiddie network. It's considered a kids show network. It's not considered Star Trek according to some of those fans out there who are opposing the show in the first place and say, I don't watch it, I don't like it. Well, how about the same sentiment when Star Trek the animated series came out and nobody took it for granted, but they took it as a kiddie show because it was a cartoon. Much like Star Trek Prodigy being a computer generated cartoon, much like the other show, Star Trek Lower Decks considered a cartoon, and yet that's considered canon, or canon, however you pronounce it, part of the legacy. But the Prodigy isn't, and neither is the animated series, but they are still part of Star Trek because they are made for Star Trek, regardless. Growing up as a kid, I'd seen a Star Trek rerun the first time, watched it all, and I watched the animated series, the continuation. And I wanted more of it, but there was no more of it. So I had to be content reading the damn books and the cartoons, comics. Some people considered it kiddies. It was for kids. And you'd be surprised how many adults collected and read those things and traded them like crazy over at the convention halls throughout the years. So don't tell me the animated series was considered just for children and not considered Star Trek. It was Star Trek. Much like they considered the Lower Decks. It came out at the same time Prodigy came. Prodigy is not considered Star Trek, but Lower Decks is. See, I don't buy it with some of these fans' interpretations, but that's their own interpretations for it. Mine regarding Star Trek shows is you make it as a Star Trek show, it's a Star Trek show. They are, well, let's see, about 30 or more years. Fans have been building sets, models, creating costumes, putting on their own fan shows. The YouTube, for the past nearly 30 years since its creation, I believe, has gotten a lot of videos on the thing, even longer than that. Because fans believed in the show so much and its idealism, the characters, the themes. They had expanded upon their own universe. In fact, we got the Star Trek multiverse, basically. They tried to consider it canon as well, their own shows as canon, without commercial profit, expending a lot of donations into their work. But for the other shows that are made by commercial companies, that's also considered canon as well. But they're making a profit because they make the ships, they make the dolls, they make the things related to it, they make the icons to wear. Next generation would have had that thing, but this is corporate. This is corporate Trek. This is considered corporate Trek. Officially licensed. But is it considered kiddie? You've seen a lot of adult themes on the Next Generation series for 7 seasons, and then you've seen the uglier scenes, uglier themes on Deep Space Nine. And maybe a little bit of that on the Voyager series. And sure, as I'm still a Star Trek fan, they did that for the Enterprise. And that was still considered canon before they put the Star Trek label on the Enterprise. But everyone assumed that it was Star Trek because it was the NX-01 Enterprise. My responses to those is anything that they have made, the fans or corporate, they are making to create and increase the volume of the Star Trek multiverse. It's still considered Star Trek. I have gone through a lot of fan conventions in my life, but there have been points where even some of the fans scare the hell out of me. Even online, they still scare the living daylights out of me. But here I am. I'm still a Star Trek fan. I still like it. I still watch them when I can. I still believe in what Gene Roddenberry was trying to tell us, what we were all still buying during those days. Hope, faith, a future maybe, if we were lucky enough. Elements of ourselves that we had to keep seeing. Even Rod Serling did the same thing to us with the Twilight Zone series. Outer limits, not so much. But we were taught by our mentors out there what we could dream and what we could achieve. We only believed and had faith. Faith of the heart, faith of the soul, faith of the future. So even I wear the shirts from time to time as a reminder of many things and of many times and of many, many places and people. I am reminded I am not alone. We have differences of opinions. We have different viewpoints of the universe and of the multiverse. And that's good. There's supposed to be multiple, not just one. Because in this way, we all share the dream one way or another. We are still part of that canon, regardless of what other people may think. And I am still trying to live long and prosper.